Okay, so listen, you at the right place, the right time with the right chef. So you can be cooking with me this Christmas. And this is what your Christmas dinner is gonna look like. You see all of this deliciousness on the table? This is gonna be on your table. Right. So moving right along, we're gonna move on to our macaroni and cheese. So for this macaroni and cheese, I put some water on in the back. I'm gonna let that come up to a boil, and when that's boiling, then we'll add some more items. And in the meantime, what I'll do, I'll cut up these vegetables because these vegetables are definitely gonna go in there. So basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna dice these onions, celery, and bell pepper. All right. And basically we're gonna put the noodles on and allow them to cook first. You could easily just salt some of the water, or you could do what I'm gonna do, is gonna just do stuff to make the noodles taste better. Because water is just water, salt is just salt. But if you put like a bouillon cube in it, all of a sudden, macaroni's in like macaroni heaven. It's like, oh my God. It's like you have a lot of money, you're very rich. That's how the macaroni feels when you put like stuff that adds flavor to it in the water. So we're gonna cut that up. These are the 2 celery stalks. Everything basically we're just gonna give it a nice little dice. So I cut it in half first to make it easier. I know some people they say this whole chopping thing is therapeutic. Oh no. I'm doing this for you. And one of the things that I also do is I don't put the vegetables in like at the beginning. I put them in closer to the point before I turn off the pot, because I want them to begin to cook and finish cook as it bakes. I want the full experience of those vegetables in every single bite when you eat the macaroni. You know, our macaroni be a little thingsy. Okay, so cut those vegetables, everything nice and small. And again, they're gonna wilt once they get in the pot, so they are gonna be smaller than they are. I'm gonna chop. This is a bird pepper. Now we use goat pepper and some other stuff. In this, I'm gonna use the bird pepper because you want a different kind of heat inside the macaroni and cheese. Something that's gonna stand up against all of that richness from the dairy that's gonna be in the macaroni and cheese. That the bird pepper kind of cuts through sharper and gives you a more enjoyable, flavorful heat. Gonna pull off some of these sprigs of thyme. This is like one big sprig of thyme, but I'm gonna pull off the leaves. I don't want the stems this time, just the leaves. Okay, I'm gonna pull off some more thyme leaves. And there's some people who will be like, oh my God, you put thyme inside macaroni? Yes, of course I do. Yeah, it makes it taste better. All right. And then there's also a sprig of bay leaf. What I'm gonna do, let me turn this on. Then we're gonna move our pot from the back. And today's episode was brought to you by Maggie. Listen, Maggie, Maggie is like between Caribbean people, African people. It's pretty much the MSG of the Caribbean. Yeah, they put it in green seasoning and all kind of other stuff. And interestingly enough, they put it in a lot of African dishes. So we have our Maggie. Gonna put 2 of the cubes inside this hot tub, and this is gonna be the jacuzzi for our macaroni, so that it could get nice and soft and tender. And we're gonna cook them until they get tender. And then once they get tender, then we add the vegetables. So let me put that second one in there. Oh man, I didn't have no intention for that one to open. Okay, so put that in the pot, and I'm gonna give that a little stir. Smells like chicken noodle soup. Now, noodles. Where is my noodle? There you go. Great save. Ready cut macaroni. Now some people use the little tiny ones, and most people use this one. We're gonna use this long one. They even got a pack of macaroni and cheese on the box. Okay. So 6 cups of water to 1 box of macaroni. And we're going to use like 1.5 tins of this cream, which we're going to add once the noodles get to the place where we need them to be. And I'm going to take these noodles. I'm actually going to take this and put this on the back. That is so warm. Okay, let's slide this over here for now. So I should have another tin of cream in here, because I can use 1.5 tins of cream in that. So as you can see, the water is almost absorbed. And as this is absorbing, I'm gonna let that run just a little bit more. And then we're gonna go ahead and add that bay leaf. And we could add the rest of our vegetables, because we want them to now begin to get tender. Vegetables in. Okay. So we're going to go ahead now and stir that. Stir the vegetables, yeah. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so vegetables stir. Now what I'm gonna do? Cream. Come here. But for me, there you go. That is a can of cream. They even have macaroni on the can. How about that? And it's just because I don't want to waste this half a pack of bouillon cube that's just sitting here on the counter just for no reason. Gonna drop that in there. Texture-wise, shell versus. Oh, well, you know, here's the thing. You could boil it all the way. I think where I draw the line is when the noodles start to break up and split. Like once the noodles start to get like destroyed, yeah, like that's like too far. But separate and apart from that, you know, the soggy mush macaroni is like, for some people that's like some banging macaroni. But I like to have the very fully cooked, and I would say not al dente, fully cooked macaroni for macaroni and cheese. Just not mush. I think mush is like too far. You ever say like how far is too far? Mush is too far. So this is like a pound of cheese. Maybe a little bit more than a pound. It's like maybe a pound and a few ounces. So I have some cheese for the top, and then some cheese for the inside. So this one is for the top, the inside. There you go. Now, so a pound of cheese on the top, like a half a pound of cheese. No, a pound of cheese on the inside and like a half a pound of cheese on the top. Now, there's a couple of ways I could do this. I could go ahead and just put the butter in here. That's like a half a stick of butter.
It's like, yeah, man, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 3 sticks later. So we're gonna add a half stick.
That is a half. It's a Bahamian half. That's half a stick of butter. All right, and now I got this big bowl problem again. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if we could, maybe we can reverse engineer this and add the macaroni to this bowl instead. So everything comes out of the pot. in the bowl. How? Okay. So we could fold that cheese in, get all cheesy. All right. And what you want to do is, I have some, I'm gonna need another bowl. Plastic container will work. So crack eggs, 1, 2, 3. And these are small, man. These like, well, not small, they're like medium. So I'd say 5 eggs. I put it in there. And with the 5 eggs, we'll do half of this can of cream. And what that is going to also do, it'll stop the eggs from cooking. And then it'll also add the body to the custard, which is the macaroni and cheese, when we bake it. Now, believe it or not, vigorously whisking, I'm gonna add a little bit of this, a little bit of this black pepper. Keyword a little bit, and then I'll add a pinch of salt, because we're gonna need a little bit of salt. All right, and stir that up. Add that. So now we are going to do the stirring, and that is macaroni sound. Yeah. All right, and I think Kimmy, give me another one of those goat pepper. Yeah, goat as in greatest of all time pepper. And as if this ain't cheesy enough, add just a little bit more. Okay. All right, so I'll put this little piece of goat pepper in there. Okay. All right. So wake me up. Now, look at this cheesy. Oh, cheesing, cheesing. If they ain't cheesing, you ain't sneezing. Or something like that. There we go. Well, cheesing. Like this. Any more time? Yeah. A little more salt. Give me some time. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Woo. She's at that happy place. I get the heat and all. Okay, so there we go. Let's put a bit of parchment paper in the bottom of the macaroni. And the reason I do this is just simply so that when it's time to take it up, I don't have to do any No hard scrubbing, or unless, because I'm not using a foil pan, I'm using my pan. So I put the parchment in. I could actually hold it and take the whole macaroni out and then cut it. So it just makes cleanup time like a million times easier. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this, pour this in. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Skip that cheese. So like I said, a half pound of cheese should take care of the top. And there you go. This macaroni should have good cheesiness, good body. It should be beautifully, beautiful, delicious. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the oven and let this bake 350 degrees until it turns nice and golden and brown on top.